Okay, there we go. Right. Let's see. I'm running this with a noise remover now, so the audio might sound a bit weird because I'm like eating at the same time here. So I'm just gonna set up the stream here a little bit. And you won't hear any like keyboard sounds, I don't think either. So gonna have to live with that a little bit. Oops. 1 second here. And there we go, I think. All right, so a little bit of a bonus stream here, I guess. So I'm thinking of starting on making like a little debugger. I thought that, hey, I wanted to like keep on going a little bit, but and maybe like do the debugger now, and then I thought that, hey, why I can. First, I thought that maybe I should wait a bit before I show anything, but I thought that, hey, well, I can show. Maybe it's gonna be interesting to show a little bit on the thought process here. Hello, what's up? I can't pronounce that. Sorry. But hello. Okay. Lucy, can you actually hear that? Could you hear that voice that came on right now? Okay. Anyway, it was my like my headphones. Okay, so what do we need for a debugger? Where we're well, we're gonna need same thing as well, we're gonna need the evaluator. So I will make yeah, let's just make the evaluator here. And probably need standard. Let's also get the evaluator here. This is gonna be, well, this is actually gonna be IR, and then you are gonna be IR. And no, wait, this is the evaluator, right? There we go. We got it. All right, let's do init. And what we need for this is gonna be something. We need allocator, config, context. There we go. Config is gonna be that and the context. All right. So what I want is it's gonna be kind of like a 2E thing. So Mm, we're gonna need to build a little library of TUI stuff, but yeah, for now, I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna create some functions here. So basically, we have like step, which just does that, and yeah, there could be some errors. So I guess I'm not sure what to do with that, but and also I'm not sure about to do with the result. But basically, we just step through, and I guess this would be like an IR evaluator error. Excuse me. All right, so this is basically what we need. Now let's go to, well, for now, let's go to run script, and we have CLI config. Let's add debug false debug. Let's do like debug IR, why not? And sure, whatever. Let's do that. All right. Okay, so now we have that option. Now we can go, yo penguin, what's up? Now we can go to the thing. So if we have enable IR, well, I guess debug IR also needs enable IR. Oh, okay. Mm, right. So this one runs IR. I guess we could add debug as well. If we're running debug, we'll do this. If we're running debug, we will do debug. And I guess, I don't think we'll have like a config on this one. Perhaps not. No, I mean we're in the debugger, so we would like get the thing, all the information from there. So we have the script and the allocator. That should be fine. All right, now let's make this thing. So I will copy you. So config we don't want. I guess we'll have the arena. We'll make not, well, the runner we don't really need. We need to compile, but that we can do anyway. So let's just make a compiler. So that's the compiler. And then we simply run compile to get the context. And there's the context. And then we don't log these things because it's all going to be kind of part of the UI, basically, the TUI. Now, we're basically gonna, I guess, we also need the debugger. No, we don't actually need a config actually. And then, or well, I guess the config will be nothing. And then the context we do have over here. So there we go. And here's the debugger. And now we can actually call debugger. And we got the step evaluator. I guess we'll call like run here, which would enter the debugger mode and do all that. So let's add this run function, which could be some sort of error maybe. And produce maybe some kind of exit code. All right, we have the setup. Okay, so what do we want to do in here? Well, so what I'm thinking is basically something like this. Let's use like Vim as a kind of guide here. So we could set up a view like this. We could have, so let's say we have, I don't know how like GDB or whatever does it, but I know that there's like a REPL kind of thing, and you could like make commands. What I was thinking is more, it's like a two-way thing where you would have these sections where here maybe you would show like some kind of memory stuff. This could be, I don't know, command. Uh, let's do, no. Maybe this is the command prompt. And what I was thinking also is like you could kind of like you could go and select memory, go into these different areas to select things or something. I don't know. And this could be kind of the instruction. We could also show, maybe we could show the source map as well. So basically, like we would show the instruction here. So this would be like the IR instruction, and then here would be the source IR instructions, and this would be the source. So we would kind of see, and then maybe we have the output somewhere as well. So maybe here we have the output. Something like this, maybe. I don't know. And now you can have different like menu modes. So basically, you press up and down to go between the windows maybe, and then you can like go into or tab or something. I don't know. But let's start with, maybe we can just start with having like a command prompt, because then you could you could tell it to step uh, or something like that. Whoops. Okay, so uh, so then for run, we need then something there. So we need to kind of let's do like a while true. And we could do like command equals get command. If we didn't get a command, it would just continue, perhaps. Otherwise, we get a command, we can switch on it. If it's quit, we will break. Okay, that could be a start. Now let's create these commands. And we also create get command. So here, let's have quit. And this would return a potential command here. Okay, now how would this work? Well, I think basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a thing here, which is the command buffer, which could be, what would this be? Just an array or something? Let's just make a little buffer here. And whenever let's get let's get a writer. But the problem is though that the writer actually, no, we need this writer to always exist. So command writer. Well, actually, no, this is gonna be well, is it gonna be a pointer actually? No, it's not a pointer. It's just gonna be this. I guess we'll set it to undefined, and then when we do run, we will populate it. So command writer is gonna be fixed self buffer. We could also make it like allocating, I guess. It could be allocating actually. Yeah, we just make an allocating writer actually. But then we need, okay, we need an allocator. There we go. Yeah, that's way easier. And what's gonna happen here is that every time, okay, we don't need you now. Okay, so what's happening here is basically anytime we get we're trying to read from standard in, and every time we get something from standard in, we would put that in command in the command buffer or write it to command basically. That's what was the idea. So, and then until we kind of the command is full or if you press enter, you would like try to run a command basically. So we would we need like the standard in. So let's get the standard in here. And then we need standard in reader. Is this deprecated actually? Read. No, but it needs a buffer. So what we need is we need the reader. Okay. Which needs a buffer? Question mark. Let's just create a buffer here for the reader. It doesn't need to be 1024. Let's do like 512. It doesn't really need to be that much. Okay, so we're gonna read for standard in with the buffer. And then we get the standard in reader is the file reader interface. Okay. So now we can say standard in reader take. We could take bytes until it's like end of stream or fails. So well, actually, you know what we'll do is we will stream. Actually, yeah, we will stream this remaining. What is this? Pump data from reader to the writer handling and the stream is success case. Okay, so it's like continuously gonna stream until it ends. Well, we can't do that because the standard in won't end. So we're gonna use like the normal stream here, and the writer is gonna be self command writer. There we go. Actually, we can make this command writer here. So then we don't need to do this weird stuff there. No. There we go. And limit is gonna be limited 512, or well, it's gonna be like the buffer length. Actually, it's gonna be, no, it's not actually. It's gonna be like, let's get the writer here. No, wait. It's gonna be self command writer capacity, like remaining capacity or something like that. It doesn't have that. Do you have something like that? Like it should know how much capacity it has left. Writable array, no. Interesting. There's no like, because it knows the length of the buffer. It's just to take like the buffer minus end. Right? Or am I crazy? Buffer length minus end, right? That's the capacity we have left. Okay, well anyway, we can stream that. Now let's catch an error. I will switch on that. And we'll say if we get end of stream, well, this is actually like standard IO reader end of stream, error end of stream. Then we should return the quit event. If we get something else, I think we have to kind of return like an error here. We just return the error. However, I think this is like a stream error. Stream error. Okay. Yeah. Now let's do this. There we go. I can hear everything. Okay, what's the issue now? Expect an option. Right. So this would be get commander or this. Function with non-void return type. Implicitly returns. Right. Okay. Well, we're not done yet. So we streamed that through. Now we're gonna check. We need to check if we got a return, like a new line, basically. So we're gonna do maybe command. Okay, so new line index is gonna be index of scalar. The slice is writer written. Wait, no, it's well, it's writer dot buffered, and then the value is gonna be, we're looking for a new line. There we go. Now this might be null, so if this is null, we will just return null. Okay, so that means we're not done yet. And then, well, or otherwise, we are going to, so right, so if we're actually, we could also like print here, but I'm gonna yeah, actually, you know what, this is bytes read, so this would be positive, or well, this would be non-zero if we read some bytes, which means we need to print those. So I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna say if bytes read more than 0, we want to print those bytes. So we're gonna get the new text is gonna be buffered, and we slice buffered length minus bytes read. Okay, that's the new text, and then we will print that out. So we actually need like a, we need let's get the standard out writer here. Now this writer actually needs to be something. So this, let's get the, we need the file writer actually. So this is gonna be the file writer. So that's the file writer, right? So that's what we need there. And then we can actually just set that here. So we could set the file writer is gonna be standard as file standard out, and writer. Oh shit! The buffer is always the issue. I mean, we could allocate. So this would be. Let's allocate, I don't know, 1,000. Yo, Polaris, thank you. Have a nice day yourself. Right, so this could be an allocator error. There we go. Okay, and then we get standard out writer. It's gotta get a writer. This is gonna be standard out file writer dot interface. Here we go. Actually, we could just you know what? We could just make print here. We could just print. So this would be like this runtime format, string, args, anytype, and this. And we would just do self standard out writer, please, and print format. Okay, and we can have other things as well, but let's start with print, because yeah, that's gonna be something we want to have. So here, for example, we're gonna print, actually we're gonna write all for this one. Write all, and this is gonna be a string or text or whatever. So write all new text. Yeah, because it's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be. I wonder how you could you make a cursor? I guess the cursor is kind of automatic, maybe. Depending on the terminal or something. Anyway. So there we go. So that was happening if we don't get a command. So if we do get a command, we basically, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically just clear the buffer. We're gonna try to parse. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, okay, well, we're trying to parse this command, right? So so this will be like parse. So parse command, and then writer buffered, and then 0 to new line index. So that will, you know, get the line basically, and we want to defer. After that is done, we want to defer command writer to clear retaining capacity. Yeah, there we go. Which will, like, yeah, clear the command. Now what we also need to do is clear the command thing as well, but we'll get to that. I guess we can, for now, let's just write, let's just write out let's just write out a new line here. Oh. Yeah, okay, we need parse command. Source. This might give us a command. Okay. So for now, I'm just gonna do very, very simple. I'm just gonna say if source is equal to quit, we will return quit. Otherwise, return null. That's the only command we have right now. All right. Cool. There we go. So yeah. Let's see where this lands us now. So I'm gonna go to my session vim, and I'm gonna add another command here for debugging. I'll rename you to debug logging, and then we'll have another one for, let's do like F7 or something for run debug. Actually, let's do F5 for run, F6 logging, F7 actual debug. So this, let's do that. It's gonna be a simple run debug, and we're just gonna add this flag here. There we go. I'm gonna remove these two, and also we're gonna do, like, instead of this, we're gonna do term like this instead, so that it runs in like an actual terminal there. And we're probably gonna make actually like a new tab instead. So this would be not new is gonna be tab new. And we don't really need to set these. Well, actually, let's set no file for the new thing, for the new tab there. And what is this? Oh yeah, if you're not in a runic file. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. So we go over here, and now we can try it. So F5 is just launching. Oh, we got a whole bunch of these materialized string logs. Let's remove those actually. No, it's gonna be evaluator and debug. Yeah, that's just log. I'll remove this and these. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we get the actual output. That's F6. Well, this is F6 here with the debug information, and then F7. Okay, let's do quit. No. Okay, that didn't do much. Okay, so we are inside the process though. Huh. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's do like if the command, if this was null, we're gonna say like print unknown command and this is gonna be source. And I think we need to make a new line over here. Let's just make some new lines. No? Should we check for ours as well? We're looking for this. Let's do new line and return index. So new line index. So this is gonna be like end index. Yeah. Which is gonna be used over here. Alright. Okay. So I'm not sure if it's like if what's happening is like an echo type thing or what is happening here. So I'm gonna remove that. And see if that changes anything. No? Is there any errors out here? No. Okay. Let's see. Before we stream, let's log out reading or streaming data. Okay, so it is like looping through there. Cool. That's good, so it's not like waiting for something to happen. But then what is going on? If bytes read is more than 0, I'm gonna read bytes let's try doing it here, I guess. We could try doing it outside as well. This is IR runic. Not sure what's going on. I'm pretty sure this returns bytes read. Yeah. Is it because we're making a new stream every time? Maybe we need to keep this around here. Not sure. Let's do like reader here. Yeah, same thing there. Standard in reader. So no. What am I missing here? What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna try and run this outside of Vim here. No, I mean it's echoing the thing, which I don't want to. I mean, okay, maybe it's good sometimes to echo. Sometimes I don't want it to echo the thing. Sometimes I do want it to echo the thing. That is weird. It's not that we close it, right? We don't close it somewhere. What am I missing? Stream delimiter. We could do maybe stream delimiter limit. That might actually wait for input. Okay, let's just try that. Stream delimiter limit. Stream too long. A stream delimiter limit error. Alright, sure. No member end of stream too long. Okay, so if the stream is too long, we don't really want to quit. What we do is I guess we do the error thing. Command too long. we're gonna do that, and then we're also gonna do self command writer clear. Oh. Okay. What the hell? What do you mean? Command too long? Maybe this is wrong here. But it doesn't make sense. This should be correct, right? Like the limit should be the limit of the buffer minus the cursor right now, like the index. Right, that makes sense. Okay, let's just do unlimited. I don't understand what's wrong with this. No. God damn it. Zero. Why is it zero? What? Because nothing has been allocated. Okay. Okay, yeah, because it's an allocated writer. Oh, okay. Well, okay, let's just do unlimited then. Okay. And then if bytes read is more than 0, we load bytes read. There we go. Oh, the K, there we go. And then it kind of started, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, cool. So it was, I think it was because of the 0 thing here. Okay, so we got Streamliner. So now we actually don't really need this check over here. And we're gonna remove this, because now it's gonna wait until we actually get the thing. Okay, fine. And this is like if we don't get something. So I think we don't. Okay, so let's not actually do that. And this is gonna get written anyway, I guess. Okay, so let's do that. we'll do this. Now the thing about the allocated writer is basically if you, well, we don't flash it actually, we return. Yeah, we do that. All right, so unused local constant. Yeah. Okay. Whoa. What the hell? Search buffer capacity. Why does it suddenly return like a million things? I am confused. Remaining. Do we need to clear the buffer or something? No. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, even when I try to write more things in, it doesn't do anything. Why does it do this? It's like it's constantly reading a new line or something. So, well, remaining is not equal to 0, okay. Available, remaining, slice. Okay, and then we're looking for the delimiter. I guess maybe we need to check if we are reading any skips the next standby for stream advancing sequence. Okay. So I guess if bytes read is 0, we just return null here. something like that? No? This is weird. Why is it behaving like this? Okay, so the first command actually works, but it doesn't show like, yeah, that failed. What the hell, man? Why doesn't it show the thing? Oh, we're not flushing, that's right. We're not flushing out. Okay, there we go. But then it stops working. It's that it only works for the first one. What is going on? There's something with the reader, I think. Joe Biden, welcome. Bro, still goading? I don't know about that. Welcome. Why is this doing like this? Why is it doing it? I don't like it. I guess technically instead of stream we could also do take. You could do take delimiter exclusive. However, that would return like a slice instead. So this would be the command. And then we parse that. But is it something with the buffer? Like now, like we have to have this kept in the buffer, right? Or returns a slice. Yeah, so this is like in the actual buffer where we need to look at. So we can't I don't know. Discard all. What do you do? Toss, skips, advise, skips, next. Like how do you, like the buffer, like how do you guys, like how does it work with the buffer? Like I know that rebase kind of resets the buffer. But I thought that like when you do things like this, it would take from the buffer first and read in what's needed. Okay, well, let's just try this, I guess. Okay. So that just works. All right, cool. I was gonna be fancy with this writer and all this crap here. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just, okay, whatever. Let's remove this command writer thing. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, whatever. Delimiter error. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, cool. Now we have the commands. So, what we want to do is we want to say if it's equal to step, we will make a step command. Now we should get this one here, yeah, step. And I was just gonna say, okay, well, let's try the step. If we want to step, let's step. And that's going to be IR evaluator error. Okay, so that's stepping. Now, yeah. So it's gonna step. And there we get a hello. so that's how it looks right now. So basically, yeah. Now we need to kind of show somehow the instruction that we're on. So let's do every time we step, we could show that. So we have our evaluator with the context, and we have our instruction counter, and we have our instructions here. So this is the instruction that we're on right now. And then you should have, do you have a format function? Yes. So we'll do self writer. Actually, yeah, we could just use print format instruction. And we'll do this. All right, so that's our instruction. We could also say instruction counter. Okay. All right, so we did this. We did that. We push, we call. Cool. Now, since it's a terminal, we can also colorize if we want. But let's wait with that a little bit. So, okay, now we're seeing the instructions. Now the instruction itself also has a source, maybe, which would show the source code of what is being, or actually it's the expression of what is actually being like evaluated right now. We can also look at the span itself. We could look at the span to kind of get that as well. Although the span does not really work here, actually. I guess this would be like a optional as well. So we could get the span like this, and then you could we could actually add like the document store here. And we could grab out, if we have a span, we will grab the document, or the source rather, from document store get source span start file, and so we grab that. Now we have the source, and now we can kind of show this the span thing there. So if we go to the other evaluator, we have like a log function, this one, which kind of shows the span here. So I'm gonna snatch that, put that in here. Actually, do we have this like in a no. So yet another thing that has this function. And just gonna print here. Okay. Right. So we also need a document store. Gonna put this over here. provide that there. There we go. Okay. So we have this thing now. Oh yeah, span color, that's right. So there we go. Actually red. Let's do green. All right. Or maybe yellow. I don't know. Okay, let's do yellow. All right, so source, yes. So now we'll do log, evaluate span, wait. Oh, we already do the source thing. There we go. But if we don't have it, maybe we'll print out the instruction anyway. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how this looks now. So step, and there you can see we stepped through. Actually, we kind of skipped this one because we're kind of straight all over there, and we're still on echo hello, and there we get our hello, and now we're on the next thing over here, and we're stepping through. Now I want to add like the history, so if you press up I want to add like so that you can, because I'm feeling it in my fingers right now that I need to have that. So let's add that. Let's add like a command history. It's just gonna be an array list. No, not a hash map. Array list of strings, or actually commands. But then we need actually. No, let's just strings. We'll just replay and reparse it. And let's set it to empty. Alright. So whenever we run a command, we are going to also add it to the history. Wait, are we not storing the allocator? Okay, and then this would be command. Oh, shoot. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Let's just do this. We need a way to kind of turn them into strings now, so we actually need like a format function here. Format. There's a snippet for this. Actually, no, yeah. Well, let's just do print. Let's just take the tag name for now. There we go. All right, so let's append the command there. Yeah, there we go. And no field name allocator instruct Debugger. Right, okay, yeah. So we need to add this here, allocator. And let's add it there. All right. Now what we'll do, also we need like, okay, we need a command history, and then we also need like a command. What would this be? Like command, because every time you type, you press up, we should have a pointer or a cursor that kind of looks into the history. Right? So this would be like history cursor. And I'm gonna say it's 0, so it's gonna be looking from the end. So when it's 0, it's at the end of the command maybe. Or it's maybe it's optional. And when it's null, we don't have one. So when we press up, we should get to the bottom of the history, and down we should get to the top. Something like that. So let's make a function for that. So let's make like over here, we'll make history up, or let's do next, and then delta is that. So it's gonna be a pain in it. Yeah. Let's just do up and down actually, and then we can have delta is that. Yeah. Okay, and then there we go. So we're basically gonna say, actually, let's return a command. It could be null optional as well, because there might not be any history. So let's say self. So basically, if we don't, we need self as well. If we don't have if this is 0, return null. If the cursor exists, we are gonna modify it and we're gonna add delta, and actually it's gonna be like max or no, min of that, and items length. Okay. So we're advancing the cursor. And then we just return items the cursor, and now it has to exist, I think. If it doesn't exist, we're gonna set it to delta. Actually, it's gonna be min. Oh my god, what? All right, so then it has to exist after this point. So we unwrap it here, and we return command history items length minus that. Actually, let's remove that to like length all right. And -1. There we are. Now let's do the same for down. So this is gonna be like negative, but what we'll do here is we'll guard it with this operator here. So it doesn't go below 0. It stays at 0 if it tries to go below 0 there. And then U would actually become length minus delta. And I don't think we need this guard now. We have the guard like this now instead. Okay. And this should be the same here. We could have a function for that as well. We'll have like get command history at cursor. Get command at history cursor. Yeah, so now you can have like, okay, let's say you have page up, page down. You could, I don't know. Like, okay, well, I usually implement that when I have like a kind of a history list. Okay, anyway, so now the problem is that when we try to press up or down, you can see that we get these weird things in here. And that doesn't work. So we could add those as delimiters as well. So we could add like up and down as delimiters, although then we would want them to be inclusive actually. So let's do inclusive now, because yeah, we need it. And then there's just one delimiter. That's the problem as well. We need like several delimiters. This okay. I mean, technically we could just take this function and change it a little bit. We could take this function and change it a little bit to kind of work with that, like make our own delimiter version function here. The only thing it's doing is it's looking for this scalar position here, and you can change this to look for index of position, or actually not index of any or something like that. Yeah, index of any, which would look for any of those things in values there. Yeah, So we could actually copy this, go over here, make our own thing here, and then also take this and the delimiter is now this. Style.io. Okay, no recursive calls here, no. All right, so then the delimiter, yes, delimiter is a string now instead. And what we're looking for is any of those delimiters. So we're gonna do any here instead. And I think that's it. Rebase. Why is the this should just be reader rebase. Why doesn't it say that this should be the same here? Right? Or is it not? That should be the same. Okay, anyway. I was like, well, what should we call? We should just call r.rebase. There we go. Okay. So now we got our own version here. So let's just use that. So now we have to do this instead. But now we change this to a string, and now we can say, wait, that's not right. How do you like? Okay, there should be like a zig escape ASCII character. No, not escape. Well, yes, escape. I think yes, escape. One second. So we have like escape. Okay, so here we go. Hexadecimal 8-bit byte value. So let's do this, and we need to check like the ASCII chart or table. Where's up? Like, what would that actually be? Pressing the up key? Because when you do it in the terminal, it becomes this weird thing. A. What if I do F1 OP? Okay, so maybe it's like these two characters here. We need to look for this and A. But these are bytes. It's 2 bytes. Is it a 2-byte sequence? Okay, that makes things more inconvenient. Yeah, because then we can't really use this. We need to kind of have like a delimiters is actually a list of strings. Important to rename there. Okay. And then it's like if we get this, let's do 4 delimiters. And we get an end. Okay, same thing here. 4 delimiters. Okay. So now we could technically look for any list of strings there. So one thing we're looking for are this one. Let's just add something to test. Like I'm gonna say if you get the test, we're gonna parse that as a command as well. So if we do this, press enter, that's, you know, if we type the words test, no? What? Oh yeah, no, we shouldn't do any now. We should do index of. There we go. But it still doesn't really work, so test. Okay, so I guess you have to do like, no, that, what the hell? Why is that a thing? That doesn't make any sense. Like I have to press enter for it to actually do that thing. Alright, you know what? I'm getting a bit fried now, so I'll continue this some other day. We'll see. It's a little bit... probably like on evenings I'm gonna stream. But yeah. Yeah, but this is like the beginnings of the kind of the debugger, which is gonna be nice to have when we are trying to debug the things. So I just want to make this work here with these like, yeah, getting like the input here correctly. So I mean, I've had issues with this other times as well, like getting a command, it's reading, and then it doesn't do anything until you press enter or you press return to actually get a new line character in, which doesn't make sense. There's nothing really... wait, there was something with that though. You know what? I want to check. There was... Haskell. Because we had this somewhere here. I forgot now what it was called. Input. Get key. Yeah, you had to do something like this, but that's for... This is like very specific to Haskell here. And I think what this is doing is it's setting something in... But there was another thing where I had to figure out with the standard in. I forget what project that was now. But this essentially, what this is doing is like for Linux, it goes into something called a IO control or something like that, and it will set some flags. Oh wait, now it's coming back to me actually. Well, what project was that? Zig-IO maybe? Okay, now I lost it again. But this is very simple here, basically. Get line. No. No, it wasn't this. Countdown, maybe? No. Where the hell was that? What is this? Oh yeah, this is the hello world without standard lib. But that's not what we're trying to do here. Okay, maybe it was in a something other project that's not here or something. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, it might have been runic, to be honest. I don't remember, but it was something with setting some flags or something else, like echo. Yeah, this thing here, the REPL. That's right, the REPL. But this is only for like. Yeah, this doesn't work for Windows or the thing that I'm doing here. Term iOS, yeah. This doesn't work. That's the thing. Like that, I couldn't get it to work. So I basically just gave up on this. And there's it's something with the kind of, I think it's some limitation with WSL or something like that, which is super annoying, and it shouldn't be there. We should be able to do this. Because it works for other programs, so there's something going on that I don't understand. But okay, anyway, that's gonna be it for this time. I have to go now, but yeah, we'll continue this next time. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Have a nice whatever it is